Miami's Big Three get together to discuss their future. I'm Jim Baskel with the latest ESPN headlines talking about LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh all together meeting on Wednesday to decide what do we do from here. We are joined on the phone by Brian Windhorst of ESPN.com. And Brian, LeBron has opted out of the final 2 years of his contract. Wade and Bosh yet to do so. But what was the purpose in terms of what were they hoping to accomplish with this meeting?
Well, I think this is something that they planned to do really all season, which was to play through the finals, take some time to decompress, and then get everybody's thoughts on free agency out onto the table. I know that a lot of people talked about it and speculated about it, including many of us in the media during the season, but they made an agreement not to discuss it. And I think, over these last few days and today especially when they got together was a time where they could air all their thoughts and feelings about where they want to go going forward. It's interesting, Jim, that this is actually 4 years to the day. Back on June 25th, 2010, it was LeBron, Wade, and Bosh getting together in what then was a clandestine meeting about all playing together in Miami that summer. And 4 years to the day later, they're now talking about what they're going to do with their future.
It's funny because back then, LeBron probably in a different state of mind than he is right now. He has 2 championships under his belt since that time. How much does LeBron dictate where the trio are headed?
Well, LeBron certainly is in a more power position than he was 4 years ago. Dwyane Wade has struggled with health problems. And Chris Bosh is certainly still a valuable player, but he is a sort of right side sell to LeBron. And now that LeBron has opted out, he could potentially apply a little bit of pressure to Chris and Dwyane, not just to opt out of their contracts, but maybe to reduce or rework their contracts to make room for other free agents. That would be a tall order, but it's something that LeBron could do, and I'm sure these are all things that they discussed when they got together today.
Hey, Brian, from where we are right now, what state of mind is LeBron James in with regards to leaving the Heat versus, there's going to be teams lining up for his services versus the thought process, even entertaining the thought process of leaving Miami to go to another team? Where do you think LeBron is right now?
Well, I think he wanted to give plenty of time with his opt-out. He gave 6 extra days notice, not just to the Heat, but to the whole league, that he was going to be available. And the reason he did that was because right now he doesn't have a whole lot of clear-cut options. There's certainly teams that could get him under certain circumstances. They would have to make 2 or 3 moves, either open cap space or to acquire players that he'd want to play with or to change their position in the draft. And every time you add a move to a projection, it gets more and more complicated. And so the reality that some of these teams can pull off these master 4- and 5-step plans to get LeBron is a little bit doubtful. But he's going to give it time to see if anything matures that attracts him. And if nobody can and nobody creates a spot that he's satisfied with, he can just go right back to the Heat and sign himself right back into the contract he was just in, taking a 1-year deal plus a 1-year option or maybe a 2-year deal with a 3rd-year option. There's really no downside to him for opting out. He doesn't fear about losing money. He knows he's going to get paid whatever he wants, and I think this is his process.
He has an awful lot of options to consider. Brian Windhorst, ESPN.com NBA beat writer. We appreciate the insight.
Thank you.
Again, the Big Three of the Miami Heat, talking about LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh, get together on Wednesday to discuss their future. You can read more about this story right here on ESPN.com. With the latest ESPN headlines, I'm Jim Baskel.